The hope of the world is the local church of Jesus Christ. Healthy churches engaged in gospel mission. The church is his institution, and he promised that the gates of hell would not prevail against it. One of the greatest needs of our nation is for the planting of new churches and the revitalizing of existing ones, which is why church planting and church health is one of the primary focuses of Emmanuel Global. We are deeply engaged in the planting, development, and restoration of local churches across the country, as well as the equipping and strengthening of the next generation spiritual leaders and pastors. Currently, Emmanuel is investing into 10 church plants across the country, and your faithful and generous investment is bearing a great harvest through these young churches. Let's take a quick tour of Emmanuel church plants across the country. Andrew Browning in Torrington, Connecticut. John Lafreniere in Fairfield, Connecticut. John Gibson in New York City. Ken Baker in the Bronx. Robert Martinez in Albany, New York. Anthony Stafford in Schenectady, New York. Brian Reese in Franklin, Indiana. Matt Chappell in Fontana, California. Philip Jones in Pasadena, California. And John Guy in Tempe, Arizona. The combined average attendance of all these churches is over 1,000 people every week. It's a miracle of grace that Emmanuel is able to aggressively invest into church planting and local church leadership development. Here are just a few highlights of what God is doing with our investment across the country. God is doing an indescribable work through Pastor John Guy and their core of team leaders. City Point Baptist Church is just 8 months old and experiencing revival in hearts. God has provided a meeting space right across from one of the fastest growing colleges in America, Arizona State University. Already, City Point has seen an average attendance of 90, with 160 first-time guests. 23 people have given their hearts to Jesus Christ, and 5 people baptized. This coming year, Pastor Carey will have the privilege of preaching their charter service as one of our new churches. The passion and the vision that exists at City Point is felt every Sunday, and we're thankful that God is allowing us to invest into his unfolding work in Central Arizona. Pastor Ken Baker and Victory Baptist Church just celebrated their 9th anniversary in the Bronx and regularly are reaching and discipling new people in the faith. Inner city ministry can be challenging, and over 9 years, Victory has been spending $7,000 a month just to rent a space in the heart of the Bronx. This past year, God opened the door for Victory to purchase their new building. Our church invested $4,000 into the purchase, and Victory closed on the property just 3 months ago. They continue to see lives changed for the kingdom of God. In New York State, we have supported 2 new church plants. Anthony Stafford planted Electric City Baptist Church, and Robert Martinez planted City Rise Baptist Church. These 2 new church plants have seen new believers come to Jesus and follow in baptism. Together, they're averaging just over 100 each week. Today, we welcome the Savini family to Emmanuel. Donald and his family are church planters to Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Born and raised in New England, the Savinis have a big heart for the Northeast, and God is leading them to plant a church in an area that is materially prosperous but spiritually desperate. By faith, the Savinis are launching a new church next week, and we're excited about the opportunity to partner with them as supporters and encouragers of the gospel ministry in Cape Cod. In addition to these churches, Emmanuel Global is working to develop and equip hundreds of pastors and churches. We'll share more about that next week. This is just a quick snapshot of what God is doing through your generosity. He is changing lives across the country and around the world. Pray for our church planting partnerships. Pray that God will encourage these pastors and provide for their needs and give them fantastic fruit for the gospel.